Danzan Leroux here. It has never really been explained by Professor Kufrath in this detail. Before I say anything else, let's all stand up. Okay. Professor A, ready? Stand up. There are three people that are still alive that were connected directly to Okazaki. Wally J, Chow-Hoon out of Phoenix, and Professor Sullivan. I first started with Professor in 1957. At that point, he had, and he'll tell you more, but I'm just going to give you a little preface about my relationship with him. He's truly a very humble man, but I will tell you, from a dominant judo player, a dominant jiu-jitsu player, a dominant karate man, there was nobody in Hawaii in 1957 that could stay with him. Nobody. He personally taught me the disciplines of what Okazaki and Kufrath and Bing Fai Lao. You'll probably hear those three words, Bing Fai Lao, Okazaki, and Kufrath, almost at the same time. So what we'd like to do is that he will take you through his background, he will bring you to the present, and then we want questions. And if he can answer them, he will. If he can't, he will say kapu, which means no trespassing. Kapu, no trespassing. Okay? So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to the professor, and I think you'll get a lot out of it. Professor, thank you.
Thank you. If you don't mind putting it all in your own stand, try to sit as much as possibly can.
So close if you guys want to.
Yeah. I don't have helmet. Okay, my name is lieberto'sullivan. K, like the Frank. Okay, you got it. Now, little name is spelled KuuleiiilunaL, pronounced Frank, the K silent. Okay, now, and the name Lunalilo. Lunalilo was one of the kings of the island. He was named after me, although he was born years before I was. And in the islands, you do not use the name of the kings unless you have royal blood. So, my great-great-grandfather was Chow-Hoon, the high chief of Maui, the Fort Kamehameha, the one that connected the islands. But Kamehameha didn't conquer all the islands of the island of Kauai. He sent his entourage over there. They were wiped out in the ocean by themselves in high seas. And then finally he made the agreement with them. If you die, then the kingdom becomes part of mine. But other than that, you're on your own. Now the word from our sponsor.
Okay, all right, go.
So, I'm here to say what some people want to hear. So, I'm here to say it. Down with Kufrath. Now, on my diploma, I got my black belt in 49 AD. And and the fellows that signed my diploma, the only one that's left on my diploma is Wally J. That's mine. And of course, that was in June 10th, 1949. Other than that, I've been with the Lua fellows too, teaching with them. They teach at Lua because Okazaki borrowed 40 some odd arts from the Lua. So that's how it goes. SIG was fantastic. Bing Fai Lao was fantastic. we had a place down in Kaheka, a small dojo. I mean, it was not too big, maybe about 30 feet, not even that much, 6 told me, about 30 feet by 20 some odd, and that's it. And we had about 40 different people in the class at the same time. So when you threw the guy down, you picked up the body and moved on the side because another body was coming down already. We did that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. No ands, no ifs, no buts. We got in there and everybody started. And you did things, and Kufrat said this is the way we do it, we do it. Slapping the floor, back falls, you can stand and drop. If I did that now, you'll be playing taps. Okay, but we did it. Did all those things. We learned how to jump, land on fingers and toes. That's how we did. Just land. So then when you hit the ground, that's all you're going to hear. Finger, toes. None of this. That's all you heard. That's how we were trained. Okay. We went through Yawara, Nagi, Shimi, Oku, Shinen, and for the black belts, Shinyo and Shinjin. And that's how we did it. Down in Kaheka Lane, there was an old church. That is where we had it. The old church, when you threw the fellow, it's too hard, then you have to go underneath and brace the floor because you just broke the floor. Okay, right through the mat because that's it. The place was all termite eaten. So that's what you had to do. So you don't throw the fellow too hard because if you did, there's a soft spot, you crawl under there, you get the 2x4, you get the plywood, you get everything else, and you brace the floor up. So when you're underneath there, you see all the different braces of different guys that did it. We expect discipline when words are said, and you obey. No questions asked. You obey. There were times, there was an incident that occurred in Sam Luke's class. Sam Luke was the other instructor also down there. And Sam Luke's class, there are 2 fellows that watched the black belts doing like kanesute, the flying scissors. They did it, and one killed the other. Just that fast. Because they thought, if I see the other person do it, I could do it. You don't do it until the color belt tells you you do it. You do it slowly, slowly, slowly. But the other one killed. They were only 16 years old. And that's what happened. So when you're trying to do kanesute, make sure the instructor is there. You don't do it until he tells you to do it, or he shows you how it's done. But you have to know how to fall, too. You have to learn how to keep your head off the floor. It's not you fall on the floor and drop your head and relax. No, you keep your head off the floor at all times. You practice and practice until your neck is in pain to keep lifting up and down and up and down. And it takes years to do it. So you don't just do it overnight. So that's how it was. And we didn't mind it, but Sam Luke's class, everybody was quite mournful of what had transpired. But at the old church, I mean, there was a warmth in it. There was discipline and there was fun. Okay, but nobody got hurt other than Sam Luke's class. The Jiu-Jitsu Institute started, and I ended up to be the secretary, not by choice, because I was the youngest guy. When you walk in, and everybody else, when they're 20 years or 30 years older than you, and they said, "We need a secretary." You are the secretary. You don't say, "Boo." You just, "I'm the secretary." So when are we electing? Who says we're electing the secretary? You are the secretary. For years, I was the secretary. I said, "Doesn't anybody want to be the secretary?" No. Whenever we come to the meeting, when Kufrat came in the meeting, or he couldn't make it, he said, "Guess who's going to go to the meeting?" I said, "I give you 3 guesses. First 2 don't count. The third one is you." So whenever we had a meeting, every month we had a meeting, and we got in there. Okazaki came in, we talked about it, Jack Wheat, everybody else, and the whole thing went through. We used to charge for the attending, for going to the dojo. Of course, during that time was $3 a month, 3 days a week. and minimum of 2 hours per class. And that was it. When you receive your belt, your color belt, only when you receive your color belt, then we will let you go to the other class, the other dojos. You'll get there and you'll help the different dojos and the different arts. And it's all professional courtesy. So if my black belt students could go to Wally J's, go to anybody else's class and not pay any fees. And you just stay there and you learn from Wally J his techniques. After you're through with that, then you want to go down to Simeon Elias, you learn the Karate and Kempo from him, or to Tommy Young. You can go down there, and that is how we did it. We exchanged. And anybody wants to learn on one side, if you are good in the judo, if you're a judo class, if you want to go there, you go. But you come back to mine, you're doing my class, but on the other days, you're doing the other classes. Nobody bothers. Okazaki had his class open. You went around here to Nikko Sanatorium. You didn't go through the house. You went along the narrow path alongside the house. And in the back, there you find the tatamis just like this. And then, of course, from the ceiling, it's broken, it's hanging down, but nobody looks at it. You don't look at the place and say, well, this is nice, I can learn over here, or because the roof is hanging down here. You don't. You go there to learn. You go there to learn. And whatever is there is what you use. You don't say, I can't do it because it's not nice looking. That's it. Okay? You don't. You just go there no matter what. And some places, like Simeon Lai had, you practice how to fall on concrete. And that was it. You didn't go in there and say, I can't because I don't want to fall here. If you want to learn from his side, you would do what he has. Simple as that. The Institute expanded. We grew and we grew. Wally J was there. Then he left. He came up to California, which is okay. Everybody else had spread around. Then slowly, everybody dies, little by little. So out of the three, out of the whole group, there are only 3 of us left. So with us, whatever we know, the whole idea behind it is you have to pick our brains, because it's not to anybody's benefit when I go and I take it with me. Okay? We'll give you everything. Wearing a color belt is one thing. Okay, you got white, blue, brown, black, purple, striped, polka dot, whatever you have. Okay, that's just to show you what you have achieved. But it doesn't make your head big. It better not make your head big. Okay, not because you walk in and said, I have a black belt. Beware. I said, beware. Oh gosh, 15,000 clowns in the world, and I got him on my side. Okay, you don't. When you advance in your color belt, you learn how to be humble. Very humble. You learn how to pick up the rubbish. You don't sit on the side, cross your hand, and says, that's not my job. You get down, okay, with the rest. You're no different. The color belt says, you are here. You're here to teach. You're here to give. You're not here to take anymore. You have come to the zenith, the top. Now it's your turn to give. And you give everything. And you don't say, why should I give? Because you wouldn't be there if somebody else didn't give you. And they gave. So that's the whole picture behind it.